Rising temperatures globally have cleared the path to one of the Earth's last frontiers, the Arctic, which has become a magnet for visitors from around the world. One way to get there is by cruise through the Northwest Passage. It's a sea route connecting the North Atlantic and Pacific Oceans via waterways in the Canadian Arctic. Last year, Crystal Cruises' giant luxury cruise ship Serenity became the largest vessel to have managed the tricky trip. And they're planning to return later this year. Want a ticket? It'll cost you somewhere between $20,000 and $120,000. Earlier, Crystal Cruises CEO Edie Rodriguez told me why the trip is worth the price tag.
This August, she will again leave from Anchorage, Alaska, 32 days, up through all those fabulous Inuit communities, being surprised and delighted every day with northern lights, polar bears. The list went on, rainbows. I mean, the guest satisfaction and our crew satisfaction was incredible.
You mentioned the Inuit community. What has been the impact on that group in this area as a result of the cruise line?
We were very sensitive to that community, and we did not want to affront them. So we sent several of our team members up there in advance to really understand their expectations and how we could be sensitive to that community. So much so that we invited them on board. And when they came on board, we did not serve any alcohol at all, and our guests understood that. We really wanted to be sensitive to whatever their issues. And they were quite mesmerized. You know, many of them had never seen, obviously, cruise ship before, but many of them had never seen greenery and a tree before. And we have a living wall on board our vessels, so they got that opportunity to see some greenery. But at the end of the day, they really loved the experience. They loved interacting with our guests. They loved learning about our cultures and then sharing their culture with our guests. So it was a win-win all the way around.
This is challenging terrain, no doubt. It's been called one of the most dangerous routes in the world. How do you manage safety on a route like this?
We literally invest millions of dollars extra to make sure we go beyond the call of duty. So for that scenario and that itinerary, first and foremost, it was paramount to have that escort vessel. It was literally an icebreaker so that if there were any traverse conditions, they would lead the way. And we built in a lot of time for weather conditions, for ice conditions, and we just got very lucky. That's why it's so important to really do that itinerary from mid-August to mid-September. Otherwise, you really would have more of a challenge.
There's been a lot of talk about millennials at Virtuoso this year, as there have been in the last couple of years. How important is that demographic to your business?
We really gear and target our millennials more or less as part of the multi-generation family complement. And I would say the exception to that also would perhaps be our river experience and our yacht expedition experience. These are skewing to a younger clientele as well because we've made them sexy. We overnight in port so they can go out to the club. We have 32-foot wider speedboats on board both our river and our yacht expedition so they can go and explore in a more younger, active type manner. And then, of course, our Crystal Esprit has the first ever submarine commercially available on a cruise experience. And it's very cool, very hip and chic. You take your iPhone down, and while you're filming the undersea life, it is Bluetooth enabled. So our millennials or our boomers can listen to their music their way. So millennials are important, but we're not focusing on them just as a segmented audience. We're really going after them more as the complement in multi-generation travel.
Let's talk about air cruises launching later this year. So these are tours that last 27 days, multiple cities, and a price tag of about $150,000.
To get started, we purchased a 777. 777s normally host over 300 guests. We have configured our 777, which we call Crystal Sky, for just 84 guests. Flatbed, Crystal exclusive class, all first class seating. The genesis of the idea is basically 2-, 3-, and 4-week journeys around the world, fully curated, yet filled with lots of options. But the really great thing is the demand for this has been great for the charter business. Many entities want to charter the aircraft and allow us then to curate their experiences. And because there's such a long flight range, in excess of 16 hours, you could be leaving Sydney and go nonstop, if you will, to literally just about any airport in the world that can handle a 777 landing. So it allows the opportunity to literally go around the world in 7 days if you wanted the itinerary curated that way and visit iconic destinations within a week. That normally, through a regularly commercial aircraft type experience, might take you 3 days just to get there from wherever you're from.
Can I ask you about being a woman at the top of a company? It's a question I hate to ask, but I'm always curious. How do you manage getting to where you are? Because there's not a lot of women at the top.
Well, in the cruise industry, I am the only CEO and president female of a luxury cruise hospitality company. But I would say any advice I would give to a woman is that it is still a man's world. So know that and own that, and then show them how you're going to do it smarter and better, and let the boys club be left in your wake.
That's it for our special edition of Bloomberg Pursuits. Go explore Canada. I'm Lily Jamali. Enjoy your long weekend.